Welcome to Boston Jalazon. And on today's studio, I've got with me the finest UK registered nurse in the person of Francis. Francis, can you just say hi to the audience?
Hello, my name is Francis, and it's nice to have you on today's episode of Boston Jalazon. I'm one of nurses in the UK here. I've been here for roughly, say, 3 years now.
Yeah, thank you very much. And in today's episode, we're just going to have an interview, one-on-one interview with Francis, just to, allow him to tell us what his experience and journey as a registered nurse practicing in the UK, and the lessons he has to tell us, and his experiences so far in his journey. So, Francis, can I just ask you this question? Do you feel very fulfilled practicing in the UK as a registered nurse?
So I think I would say, my experiences having worked here can be summarized by, the description, two sides of a coin. It can that bittersweet experience.
Yeah.
Bitter in the sense that, you really sit back and then you look at things the way you would do them here as a nurse, and then kind of reflect on where you are coming from, the challenges we have with providing medical care at the standard processes and practices as well. Then you begin to think about, why can't we replicate this level of care back home? What are the stumbling blocks? Then, on the other part of it, it's obviously going to be a lie if I say that I have not, on a personal note, achieved a lot more than I would have if I were back home, or if I've not grown, on the profession by way of experiences, by way of trainings, and a lot of things that you get the opportunity to do here. So, and then I think, on your other question about people back home who are indecisive about, what country or wherever they want to, I think really it doesn't really matter what country you go to at the end of the day, because you just have to decide that, hey, I want to move from here. I want to take my practice to the next level. Try and see it as, you upgrading yourself, learning more, seeing things. There are so many equipment, so many machines that we use here.
That sort of exposure,
you can't really get back to home. Use or get to experience back home. So, and those things can be found in the UK, they can be found in the US, they can be found in Australia, and all of that. So it doesn't really matter what country you decide to go to. It depends on your goal for yourself.
That's good. Francis, would you say you are very fulfilled within the times you've spent practicing as a nurse in the UK? Would you say you are certain, or you have that level of fulfillment, a greater percentage, or do you still have that regrets why you migrated to the UK, or probably say, I could have been in Australia, or I could have also been in Canada, or I could have been in US? Because by research, these countries I've mentioned, they pay nurses more. So in terms of finance and other aspects and other dimensions of life, would you say you are fulfilled?
First of all, come from the angle of the other dimensions of life. There's more to life than just the money. The Australia, the UK, the US, they are all by far more developed than where we've all come from. And if you put the countries at par, that you can be able to look at them and say, okay, aside from the money, the quality of life, the social interaction, cultural integration, and crime rate. This would be the indices I would, kind of want to compare. Then before then, you now bring the equation of, okay, where pays more, because, and then of course cost of living as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to earn, say, $5,000,
Yeah.
you know, per week,
Yeah.
and then end up paying a rent of, say, $3,500,
Yeah.
you know, per week.
Yeah.
So there's no.
So you're saying,
Yeah.
you know, money shouldn't come first.
No, exactly.
When it comes to choice of, you know, where to migrate to.
Yes, I wouldn't think money should come
First on your own list.
On my own list, I wouldn't think money should be the major motivating factor. It could be a factor.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But then there are other things. Yeah, you get the money here, but how about, you know, when you finish from work, you know, let's keep that aside. How about the job itself, you know, in the process of caring for a patient?
Yeah.
Do they appreciate you? Do they get to curse at you?
Yeah.
You know, do they call you nigger? You know, all of those things.
Yeah.
So I think those are some, you know, intangible assets, if I want to put it that way. There are some intangible assets that we really don't see. We only look at the money.
Yeah.
You know, so I think the UK on that front, I think, would be topping, because I mean, it could, this, of course, you talk about the free healthcare that you get. I mean, you don't have to worry about, you know, somebody breaking into your home.
But other countries, they've got insurances, you know, that cover, you know, the cost of their health.
That's the thing. Here in the UK, you don't need insurance to be covered.
Yeah.
In other countries, you need insurance to be covered. In some instances, your employers will cover that insurance. In some other instances, they will cover a part of it.
Yeah.
And it means also you have to pay out of pocket to cover this insurance as well.
So would you say, if opportunity comes now for you to leave the UK and say to move to the US or Australia or Canada, you wouldn't take the opportunity by the indices of your list?
I mean, I am talking from the perspective of, say, maybe a person who is probably still back home. You know, these are the things you would have to consider before you start making your move. I have been here, you know, for, say, 3 years now, or more than. Now, for me, if I am moving out of the UK to, say, Australia or US, I will be doing that from a position of information, because I already know what to expect from these places. So I am better prepared than someone moving back home would be to just go into the US straight up. So I think I would be better prepared to make that decision to say, okay, I can move. I would eventually move from the UK, you know, because I mean, I have got my NCLEX and all of that sorted out for the USA. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to leave tomorrow morning.
Yes. Yeah, you know, this is for nurses back home who are actually considering what country to migrate to. I've got this friend of mine who blatantly had said, I'm not going to the UK. So by the time we left the UK, it is like 5 to 6 years now. He's been looking to migrate to the US. And he's very poised to get into the US. And this is 6 years down the line. Would you say such a decision is not advisable? Because if he had wanted to be in the UK, he could have been here, let's say maybe 5 or 4 years ago. So would you say such decision is not to be encouraged?
You see, I do think that, you know, people should leave room for a little bit of, you know, rejigging their plan, or a little bit of twist. Flexibility.
Exactly. You know,
you should leave room for flexibility when you make certain plans. I can tell you 100% that at least 60, I don't want to be, you know, too generous with numbers here, but I can tell you that about 60% of the nurses who migrate from back home to the UK initially didn't want to settle in the UK.
Yes, I think I'll be one of them that said,
exactly.
You know, when I was home, UK wasn't my destination.
Exactly.
It wasn't 100%. In my diary at all, you know, because of what I would call power of a single story. Things you've had. Do you understand? So and these things are not even true. So coming to the UK, and I was like, I had a lot of regret. I should have been here long time.
Longer than.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, now you see for this your friend, right? You trying to get to the US for over 6 years, you've still not got to US. You're still stuck at a certain level. And I mean, if he or she had given the UK a shot, say, I mean, she should have been here 3 years ago, or 5 years ago.
Yes.
And within that period, I mean, I came here, and within 3 years, because I really wasn't, it really wasn't on top of my list to say, get your NCLEX, and get out of here. No, it was just something. I just that's like along the line say, okay, let me just do it and keep it, and then, let it be an option that exists somewhere. You understand? Then, but for someone who has US as their primary goal, imagine coming into the UK. I've had a friend who come into the UK, spent about 3 months, got their NCLEX, got everything sorted out, and they moved away, went to the US.
And you still have that experience, at least you have that experience as someone who's practicing in the UK.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
Do you understand?
It makes it easier.
Good.
For instance, I mean, if you want to go to Australia, most of the requirements, if you were to come from Nigeria, you wouldn't meet it. But if you had come to the UK, worked for 1 year, just one year in the UK, that qualifies you to even go to Australia. So that experience, that experience is a lot. I think that person has just, denied themselves on the opportunity to get that experience and then have it under their belt. It builds up your CV and say, I've practiced in so and so place. You're gonna be wanted.
So, so for people out there who are looking to go to the UX, the truth of the story is that you can migrate to the UK first, and it makes it very easy for
seamless.
You.
It makes it well. I won't really say seamless. But it makes it way easier. It takes away a certain burden off you. Because you get to do things at your pace. You can sponsor your exams, your NCLEX, whatever. You can sponsor them 100%. You don't have to rely on any agency or whatever to